I'm Jeff Schwartz, and this is our December shop project update. Right behind me here is the 78 Mercedes 450 SLC. As you know, I like oddball cars, and this is a really cool project that we're doing here. We just got the forge line wheels in. They're going to look great once we figure out what color the center is going to be. We've been working on the exhaust system and headers. As you can imagine, an LT4 engine inside of a Mercedes with a custom chassis is going to require custom headers and exhaust. So that's what we've done now. We're just buttoning up the tailpipes, but the headers are fabricated and fully welded, as is the exhaust all the way back to the tailpipe. So should have a good sound punching out probably in the neighborhood of 750 horsepower out of this LT4 that we're going to tweak a little bit. We did have the blower completely CNC ported recently, and we're going to do a 103 throttle body and a couple other minor tweaks to make it run just like a stocker, but make a lot more power. As you can see, we're still busy knocking out chassis, and to get our lead times down, we've been looking for additional help, and I'd like to report we have added 3 additional staffers, so hopefully we'll continue to pick away at our lead times and get them down to a more reasonable level. So thank you for all the support, and we'll keep rolling. This is that 69 Mustang that you saw last month, and we're continuing to work on final assembly here. I mentioned a cool backstory, and I don't want to get into too much personal details, but basically the couple that are having this car built are doing this for their granddaughter, whose father tragically passed away, and this was his project car. So they're going ahead and finishing it for him. They're going to enjoy it a little bit, and then the granddaughter, once she's old enough to drive, will take over the reins of this pony. So this 48 Woody is getting really close here, and we had our buddy Brando come over and do a blue pinstripe on the wheels. Basically, this had a small block Chevy, if you recall, and we've got a Coyote in there, so Ford and a Ford. Ford is a blue oval, so we've got the blue oval valve covers here on this Coyote, the kind of retro look, and then we've got the Roush supercharger on there. We had Brando do the lettering on here in a blue background to match the pinstripe on the wheel. So kind of integrates and flows real nicely. We've got our seats in there now. It's the same seats that were in here, but we bolstered them, reupholstered them in leather with some bolstering to keep you in place when you go around corners. And this thing is going to get driven a lot on the mountain roads of California. So I'm looking forward to hearing how our customer enjoys this, ripping up the mountain roads of California. So getting real close. We just got to put the carpet in and button up a few details and do some dyno tuning to get everything dialed in on that engine. This is the 47 Hudson, as you probably know, and the devil is in the details. This car has so many little details that require assembly. As you can see, we've got the grille put together there. There's a ton of pieces and nuts and bolts to put all that together. We're using stainless hardware throughout on this thing. You know, we've got wiper pieces that we put on. We've put some of the interior back together. We've got the seat in there that we're test fitting for the steering column position, and it should be ready to go to the dyno here before too long, and then we got to button up the interior. On this 75 Trans Am, we've got the satin black roll bar that we fabricated quite some time ago in the car now. We've got the shifter mounted and the Recaro seat in there. The dash pad is out being wrapped and stitched with leather, and the rest of the interior will follow suit once we get all the final mechanical things buttoned up. And this will also need dyno testing to tune that Whipple supercharger on this LT4 to make somewhere about 1,000 horsepower. So we talk a lot about the Schwartz G-Machine chassis for muscle cars and classic trucks, and we don't get a chance to talk much about Corvette chassis. So we do make Corvette chassis, our Schwartz G-Machine line. This is a C2 chassis for a 63 to 67 Corvette. We built a number of cars with our chassis that have been on magazines and online forums and such. So if you want to see what a car looks like with our Schwartz chassis, Google search Schwartz Corvette and you'll see cars with these chassis under them. Uses a C6 type front suspension, and then the rear is kind of a 4-link that we make ourselves with the uprights from a C4 vet. So it's a really great chassis, rides real smooth, coilovers, and all the good stuff that you normally expect, and the smooth ride quality that the G-Machine chassis has. So this is the Hellcat powered Monte Carlo, and as I explained last month, we had to get more airflow through the front end. So we've opened that up now, and we're fabricating a nice grill to fit in there to mimic the grill up in the normal opening for the lower opening in the front end. And we've been working on fabricating headers for this. As you can expect, custom headers for this particular application. Looks like we've got them all tacked up together except for one tube on the other side, but we'll probably wrap that up tomorrow and then be welding up the headers. And then that'll be step prior to us fabricating the full exhaust system. On this LT4 powered Mustang, we took the supercharger off and sent it out for full CNC porting. So this one will get our 103 millimeter throttle body, the 5-inch air intake tube, and it'll get a lot more horsepower than the 650 that this engine made stock. So we've got that being done, and then we've been working on fabricating bracketry and such to mount the various components under the hood, such as the intercooler pump for the intercooler system. And we've also been working on getting the seat brackets fitted for the Recaro seats that are going into this. So on this 54 Studebaker, we've fabricated the tailpipes of the exhaust system, and we've got them kind of flush where you don't really see them sticking down, which is a good look that we always try to achieve. We've also finished fabricating the wide body quarter panels on here and done all the inner fender work as well. The customer wanted to maintain the factory gas filler door, so we've fabricated that into this new quarter panel, so the factory flip open thing. We've also modified the trunk floor to have the filler neck pass through under that, and that's what we've done on this one. This is that Mustang Coupe that's got the body kit on it, and this is getting a Coyote, and we're getting ready to put our Schwartz G-Machine chassis into the body on this one. This is that early Chevy 2 Nova body that we looked at last month that had been media blasted, and we've since prepped it and epoxy primed it. This one is a pretty solid car, and looking forward to get going further on this one. The next step would be installing the chassis in it. This is the second generation Chevy 2. I don't know if you've seen it before or not, but it was white when it came in here. This one just came back from media blasting, and it was shipped in from California. Apparently it was originally from Georgia, but there's a lot of rust on here, so we've got all the appropriate sheet metal parts coming in, and we'll be pretty much doing a lot of rust repair on this one. But not a problem. We can make it just like new. This is that 68 Cornet. This one also had some rust issues. We've repaired all of the sheet metal on the car and fabricated the roll bar that the customer wanted in here. Test fitted seats, so we've got plenty of room to move back and forth with the seats. The next step is fitting the Schwartz G-Machine chassis into this car. That's all for December. Have a happy holidays or Merry Christmas, and we'll see you back here next month. Looking forward to a spectacular 2021.